When comparing these two lights, there is a lot to cover, and it's not just the design, which is obviously different, but it's also the light output and fan performance, which leads us to fan noise. And I know a lot of you have been interested, like if the B200 makes more or less noise than the G200. So let's put these lights under a microscope and see which one would be better suited for your needs. Briefly about the design. The G200 looks a bit thinner and smaller than the B200, but that's because the controls, as you might know, is in a separate box over here. If we put them both together, then B200 would be a bit smaller. And the cool part about the B200 is that it's all just one unit. And it doesn't have all these powering bricks and anything like it. You just simply plug it into the electricity and that's it. I personally like this G200's design because you can have the light itself like up on a C-stand and have the controls lower at your like eye level. And also, spoiler alert, these two fans and having these two parts separate, they have a bonus when it comes to fan noise. For the B200, there actually is an option to buy like a separate controller, and then you have the controls like in a wire. Downside, it's really dim. The screen is really dim. It wouldn't be like a problem in this studio type of situation, but somewhere outdoors or whatever, this thing is really dim. A similar thing to these lights is that they both use the same like ZY app. And in that case, you wouldn't need to go like worry about the controls being like anywhere because it's all Bluetooth. They both are bicolor. And the range goes from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin. And they both are being positioned as 200 watt lights. But the bonus side for the G200 is that actually you can get it to go into the boost mode, which is like around like 300 watts of output. Though in that case, the fan gets really loud, and also the time for how long you can power it with the 300 watts is limited, because like if the heat rises, the light will heat up, then it will lower the output. How long is that time period? I have no idea, to be honest, because usually I would use it on 200 watts and that would be enough for the project I would do. Or if I needed more output, then I would go with the G300, which is a 300 watt light and can be boosted into 500 watts, but that's another story. Now let's compare the light output for both of these lights. And we got the G200 on the left side and B200 on the right side. And as you can see, the brightness is pretty much the same. They are both running at 5600 Kelvin, but the difference will be noticeable once we get the G200 running into the max mode. And the G200 automatically, once in the max mode, goes to 4300 Kelvin. But we can still adjust it to be like 5600 Kelvin. And now you can see that there is actually that brightness difference for both of these lights. Now let's check out the fan noise for both of these lights. And as usual, we're gonna do this bit of the video without any audio enhancement or any audio post-production. And here I have the G200 running on 100% of brightness for almost a half an hour. That's the thing I like about the G200. It's so quiet. The fans are spinning for both parts of the light, but you can barely hear them at all, like standing really next to them. And in a normal situation, you would have the light further away from, let's say, for an interview, and I think you can't hear it at all. There's some of the noise coming in from like surroundings, but the light itself, the fan, you can't hear it. Now the B200, I just turned the light on, so the fans are not spinning at all. And it does that. It the fan works when the heat rises to a certain temperature. All right, so now one of the fans started to work, the other one, and the third one as well. So there are 3 fans actually, like all around the light. And at this point, it's barely noticeable, like it can't be heard. This could be a thing why other creators say that this light is super quiet. But what we're gonna do is wait a bit more. But while we wait, if you find this video valuable, then hit that like button and feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. 5 minutes and counting. There we go. So it took around 5 minutes for the fan to really start kick in and start working on way much bigger speed than it did before. I bet you can hear that. You can definitely hear that. Now, in my opinion, that is the biggest thing that sets these lights apart, and that the B200 is actually not that quiet as the G200. Here's the sound with the standing like really next to the B200, standing right next to G200, B200 again, and G200 once more. And even if I would put it a little bit like away from me, because like doing an interview, you wouldn't have it like in somebody's face on 100% of brightness. You think you would know, anybody would notice it? Let me know in the comments, what do you think? While filming this, I actually realized that I have a G300 as a key light on 45% of brightness over there, and a G200 as a fill light on around 60% of brightness. And those both lights are 2 meters away from me. But you can't hear them at all. That's what I like about the G200s. Plus, there are a couple of more nuances to these lights, as the G200 comes with a carrying case, which is cool and handy to go from a location to a location, while the B200 does not. I haven't mentioned that both of them have the regular Bowens mount, and both come with these reflectors. And price-wise, the G200 and B200 cost roughly the same. I think it's $360 US, and in Europe it's the G200. I think it's 400 euros, while the B200 is 360. But I've added the links in the description if you want to check it out. I hope this comparison was helpful, and there's a lot of new content coming out soon, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. This definitely is a new format for the videos, so hope you liked it. See ya.